Well, we are back with another GR Giving Day podcast. I'm so excited to have you. Can you give me a quick intro?
Thank you, Zach.
Yes.
I'm Monica Sparks. I am the founder of Community of Hearts.
Amazing. So, Monica, we've had the opportunity to talk just a little bit before we jumped into the podcast here this morning, but I'm so excited to learn about Community of Hearts. It sounds like there's a really cool inception of that nonprofit. So tell me a little bit about that.
So nonprofit world is very tricky and interesting at the same time. Usually an executive director or founder has to raise the funds to support what it is that they do. And they are fully funded by lots of grants and things like that. Well, not so Community of Hearts. We are 100% volunteer-led and operated nonprofit. But we operate with 7 AmeriCorps staff. So that tells you the depth of the work that we do, that AmeriCorps thought enough of us. And this is our second go round. So 2 years now with AmeriCorps. We do a lot of work. What we do in the community is help to create mental health advocates. We started out as this event. So the event, I had $232,000 worth of media committed to the event. We were going to be on the bus doing something called Rapid Writers. So it was just information sharing with people, letting them know where they could go for resources, where they can go for help as far as mental health. We wanted to reduce the stigma around mental health. I'm going to take it back just a little bit further. I have a mental health. I live with a mental health issue. I have ADHD. So with me, I really did not know it until I was in my 40s. And at that time, it was kind of like, wait just a minute, what's going on here with me? I can't seem to finish anything. I'm not getting anything done. I'm very impulsive. Just all these little things that my mom said one day, you need to see someone. And I'm like, what? Because in the African-American community, we don't talk about mental health. It's kind of like your stuff is your stuff. What happens inside, you don't talk about it outside. And I said, I'm going to go see someone. Well, back then, we had the yellow pages. So you young people, you guys are really lucky. Like, that's the press of a thumb. You can get to where you need to go. But I didn't know. So I went through the yellow pages, found Catholic Charities, and went through their services. And that's when I found out I was diagnosed with ADHD. Well, I didn't know how to feel about that. Like many people with a mental illness. They don't know, is something wrong with me? Is it okay to not feel okay? Is this the end of my life? Am I, excuse the word, crazy or nuts? All of these things. And I took it upon myself to use that as a platform. And I said, if someone like me in the community, a community leader, has lives with a mental illness like ADHD, why can't I share that? Why can't I tell people that? Because I won't be an elected official. I am an elected official. Because people won't elect you because they think you're unstable. They think there's something's wrong with you. That was not the case.
So I want to back up a little bit, to the work that Community of Hearts does, because I think I'm really taken aback by there's so many stigmas around mental health. And I think it's really, we have more voices, that are speaking into that, which
Thank
is
God.
which has been a huge blessing. But at the same time, there's so many different communities, whether it's, racial communities or, I even think of like men and how, men talk about mental health. There's so much unspoken. So when you talk about being an advocate for mental health, what are some of the, is it programs that you guys run? What are the things that you guys do? Give me a little bit of that.
Honey, because I will go all off on you. I'm just telling you. So we came up with a mental health advocate training program just for the average person. So say, you think of mental health and you think of therapists and needing degrees and things like that. But how do you or me, people that are not licensed, understand mental health? How do we learn what some of the triggers are? What are things that we should say, not say? What are some of the mental illnesses that there are? Do you have to take a pill for it? What kind of therapy? So we came up with the mental health advocate training program in 7 different languages.
Oh my goodness.
So when we started, of course, we didn't have 7 languages. We had
Yeah.
English, and then there was Spanish, and then we grew from there. My goal is to have it in 13, the
Okay.
different 13 languages that are spoken at the hospital. So that's our goal. But yeah, we just wanted to make sure that we can help people be advocates for anyone in their life
Yeah.
and for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you see a lot of like through lines in that training that, the average person is getting, right?
Yeah.
Like the non-licensed person, like
Free online, yes.
free online training, right? Is there like any aha moments that they have that just like, what are some of those that stick out to you?
There are over 200 mental illnesses. Did you know that?
I didn't.
200. 1 in 4 people live with a mental illness. These are the types of stats that people are finding out and saying, oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Or what does borderline personality disorder look like? Hey, I had a panic attack and I didn't know exactly what it was. Oh, what about anxiety? Well, how does that make me feel when something's going up and down my spine? So we kind of take people and help them, guide them through that process so they know, oh, this is what I could be experiencing, or this is what my loved one could be experiencing, and help them bring around some emotional intelligence around it and some empathy.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's so powerful because, I have to think that understanding and knowing someone deeply is really like the foundation of being able to love someone well, right?
It is.
So having training like this where though you may not be able to have full empathy for what they're feeling,
Right.
having that understanding is a great place to start. So I love that. So let's talk a little bit about GR Giving Day. Okay, so this is a really cool thing that Grand Rapids is bringing to the forefront. Going into GR Giving Day, Giving Tuesday is on December 3rd, I believe.
Yes.
And the goal is to raise $250,000 to be given to 50 plus nonprofits with female founders. And I think it's such a cool movement that we're adopting. But I'm interested, Monica, like what was the thing that drew you into saying like, yes, I want to be a part of GR Giving Day?
Anything Erica does is just AMA. We support AMA with our Stress Less Student program.
Okay.
So anything that she does, I know it's from the heart. I know that it's sincere, it's intentional, and she does so much good that people don't have an opportunity to see because some of the things are based in Mexico. But when she told me about it, I'm not going to lie, I thought, oh, that's pretty lofty. But to see her unfold this and have great partners like you and other nonprofits that have come to the table, it makes me so happy because if she does not raise the $250,000, I feel like I've already gotten so much out of it myself. She's had some other ancillary events that have gone along with this networking. So I've been able to network with other nonprofits. It's also given us a few things that we could do to build our own nonprofit. Based on the resources that they've already provided. So this is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, awareness is such a massive part of like any nonprofit, right? Like, and, I think it's been really cool, as we've gotten involved just to be like, man, I didn't even know that was a nonprofit. And there's some that are right in my backyard where I'm like, man, what a cool organization. And like now I can get involved, whether it's from like a financial standpoint or a volunteer standpoint, right? And there's so much need in this community.
You can get involved. You should. Because like you said, if you can't do it financially, there are so many things you can do as volunteer. You can put it on your social media pages. I mean, everybody forgets that those are the little things that can add up.
Yeah.
Because you're not Oprah. You don't have billions of bucks. It's okay. Just do the part that you can do, and we're all going to get there together.
Yeah, for sure. So going back to Community of Hearts real quick. So you mentioned in, the inception of Community of Hearts, you guys actually started right around COVID.
Yeah. So we started in 2019, November, and then we were going to build everything out for February and then May. So May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yep.
And there was COVID in February. And so we were trying to figure out what do we do? Because we can't, everything shut down.
Yeah.
There was nothing that was going to be open. We couldn't have all the whole month of events. And we shifted, like I said, to mental health advocacy, but we also shifted to our mental health resource guide, which we do it twice a year, putting all of the different resources together. Then we flipped to going into the schools with our Stress Less student program.
Yeah.
What we're finding is 25% of children are on anti-anxiety medication. So we like to be able to touch the babies, I call them babies, touch the young kids before they are, on medication, or if they're on medication, help them with breathing exercises. We have a pair of glasses that we use called, and I got a pair for you too.
You have a pair of these?
I do have a pair. They're called Good Vibes.
Good Vibe
And
glasses.
it's color therapy. So the color therapy is based on the science that says the colors you see affect your mood.
Okay.
So I think you have green there.
I do have green here.
Yeah. And so
One of my favorite colors.
Oh, well,
how did you know?
I did not know. But green is good for headaches. It's good for the overstimulation of the brain. So instead of all the colors popping around you, you put on the glasses and the children see one color.
Okay.
And then that helps with the overstimulation. And then they're able to have clarity. They're able to focus. We find that 72% of the students wear these every day without any prompts from the teachers.
Wow. So, in that time during COVID, right? I have to imagine that there was, you mentioned you had to quickly pivot to advocacy, right? And, if I remember, my journey through that, right? Like there was, for the first time, right? It seemed like there was a lot of people talking about mental health, right? Which was probably a good tailwind for your organization.
Yes.
But then in tandem with that, it's like, okay, how do we do that outreach, right? So, as you guys have, come from that period to now, and as you look into the future, what's on the horizon for Community of Hearts? What do you guys have your sights set on?
Well, our sights are set on making sure that we create more and more mental health advocates.
Yeah.
We do have a mobile spot. It's a mobile mental health clinic. So
Okay.
we go to seniors, we go to schools, we go to organizations, and we teach them that self-care is very, very important. So I think what's on the horizon is we're going to continue to do our programming.
Yeah.
That we're organically blooming into these things, and just perfect them and make sure that we can touch as many lives as we can throughout Kent County. Well, I mean, we're in Chicago now. We're in other places too.
So cool.
But it is just a blessing to be at the helm of this organization and knowing that we're here for the right reasons, knowing that we have great partners like GR Giving Day and your organization having us here this morning. We just are so blessed, and we're going to continue to do the best we can.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for the time today, Monica. It was just so cool just to be able to dive in, and I know we really just scratched the surface, and there's so much more to learn, and I'm sure that you guys are in that. But for everyone listening, where can they learn more? Where can they get in touch with you guys? What should they do? What's the first step?
Well, the first step is to know that you are loved. That's the first step. Then go to our website.
Yes.
It's communityofhearts.org.
Okay.
Communityofhearts.org.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you for the time today,
Thank
Monica.
you, Zach. It's been amazing to be here. You guys are awesome.